behind or I condoned or something about what that independent group did. That is not accurate. I didn't even know about it until the action was imminent. I was told just before, frankly, you guys were told, just as they were about to go out and have their press conference. So I had no knowledge. I don't approve. I don't disapprove. It's frankly none of my business. That is a separate branch. It's a separate house. They'll make their own political decisions, which obviously they have.
So, Senator Skelos said that you guys discussed having an on-time budget today. How do you plan to make sure that
nice,
this year?
right?
How do you plan to make
theory,
that happen? What are you going to do differently?
In theory, that would be nice. Look, the on-time budget to me is there's a larger point, which is the government should work. The government should work, right? The people of the state have stood by for a long time, watching the quote-unquote dysfunction of Albany. Let's make the government work. And that's what I was saying at lunch. That's what I was saying at the State of the State. That's what I was saying at the inaugural address. That's what I will say every day as long as I am governor of the state.
Specifically, how do you do that differently, though, than other?
Well, I think I'm trying to do everything I can do. Part of it is I want you to be part of the process. That was the State of the State, right? I want to bring the people in. I want to go to the people who are opposed to the budget and see if I can talk to them and I can calm down the opposition. I'm trying to reach across the aisle. You know, these are, how do you paint a portrait, right? There are many, many brush strokes. And I think that's the way we have to do this. One of the ways is reaching across the aisle, reducing the partisan divide. One of the ways, I think, is just bringing in the legislators and having the conversation on the merits about the issue, and let's see if we can work it out. See, if you isolate the conversation on the merits of an issue, I believe in the dialogue, and I believe in the art of compromise, and I believe if you get people talking, you can work things through. In Albany, there's very often the problem in the past has been they're not talking. They're yelling, or they're not talking, they're posturing, right? That's what I want to avoid. Let's have the conversation on the merits. And by the way, there are going to be legitimate conversations on the merits. These are very difficult issues. And rent control, there will be a very vociferous debate on both sides. Property tax, the same thing. The budget, when people see the budget, you're going to hear, oh, we can't possibly do this. Fine. But let's isolate the issues. Let's have the dialogue on the issues, on the merits. Let's slow it down a little bit. And let's make it more reasonable, more respectful, more substantive, less hyperbolic, less political, less rhetorical. I think that's how you do it.
Is it your intention to try to get a property tax cap and ethics reform before the April 1 start of the new fiscal year?
Fred, I am going to be moving forward on all of these issues simultaneously now. Property tax, I'm moving now. Ethics reform, I'm moving now.
So we'll see a bill in a few weeks or less?
Yes, yes. And look, we are already speaking with the Assembly and the Senate on these matters.
One more, guys.
What about continuing the income tax, temporary income tax on the rich? Speaker Silver was not ruling that out today as something he might want as part of budget negotiations. Is that still off the table for you?
My position is, has been, will be, I'm against new taxes. In my opinion, that is a new tax, and therefore I'm against it.
Governor, just to follow up on I think Fred's question, are you going to put out a property tax cap bill before you have a deal, or
it depends. It depends, Tom. If we're going to be talking to the Assembly and the Senate, if we can come up with a quick three-way agreement, then we'll do a quick three-way agreement. If we can't come out with a quick three-way agreement, then I'll do an individual bill, and I'll work and advocate for that bill, right? You're going to see two strategies, which I think are consistent but different. I believe in cooperation, and I believe in collegiality. I also believe in advocacy. So I am going to be advocating my position with the people of the state of New York all across the state to build support for my positions on my legislation, right? So I'm going to go to the people on ethics reform. I'm going to go to the people on property tax. I'll go to the people on rent control. I'll go to the people on the budget. I want to build popular support because I really believe that's the fundamental way this changes. If the discussion is in this building, the people lose. So I want to bring the people into the conversation. That's the advocacy. At the same time, I'm going to work on a collegial way, and if we can come up with an agreement on a joint agreement, great. That's fine too.
That bill include take to the legislative leaders, and if so, do you encourage and discourage, or is it just part of the process?
You know, it was a good conversation. It was a collegial conversation. It was enlightening. It was productive, and the tone was right, and the tone was good. I mean, we were talking, and again, you know, I think there are two different tracks that you have to go down at the same time. Have these conversations, and I am going to work exhaustively at trying to bring the legislature together and bring the legislature along. I'm going to be doing that. At the same time, I'm going to work exhaustively at building public support, because I believe fundamentally the political process works best when the people are engaged. I believe fundamentally the politicians will follow the people when the people make their voice heard. So do both simultaneously. No, I have been, if there's one thing that I've been trying to do from day one, even with my campaign, it was build a base of support among the people. Again, I believe in trust but verify, right? So there's collegiality but advocacy. My whole campaign with the Citizens Pledge, the signing on to the petitions, the email drives, the database of people all across the state, I was building public support, popular support for a set of positions. I said during the campaign, I don't want to get elected with a personal mandate. Andrew Cuomo got elected with 62%. Who cares Andrew Cuomo got elected? I wanted a mandate for an agenda. I wanted to be able to stand up, which I can, and say, the people voted for these 5 items. This is what the people voted for. This is what I ran on, very specific, very tight. It wasn't conceptual. So I did that all through the campaign, and I'm going to be doing that as governor. If the conversation is in this hallway, the people lose. I believe that. I believe the lobbyists win if the conversation is in this hallway.
Governor,
Yes. Oh, no. If I have my agenda, which the people supported, if the legislature will pass the items that the people supported in my campaign tomorrow, then I will sign the bill tomorrow, Bill. If not, if they're not in a position to support that agenda, then I'll go to the people, I'll build public support, and we'll have the conversation.
Governor, are you going to meet with any members of the unions this in the same manner
Yes.
that you're doing with the legislature?
Yes. Yes, and I'll be doing that this week.
Would your bill include mandate relief on the property tax cap? I mean, obviously you have the commission that you set up, but how do you get a property tax cap passed if it doesn't include the mandate relief, which a lot of local governments are calling?
Well, those two things are going, I don't know that they have to be in the same bill, Joe, but they are. I believe you need mandate relief. The definition of that is different depending on who you talk to, but I believe you need mandate relief and property tax relief. They could be one bill, they could be 2 bills.
That close to the February 1st deadline to expect the budget presentation.
I don't have a date yet.
Governor, your thoughts on opening up the second floor after what happened in Tucson over the weekend?
I am very happy we opened up the second floor. We're going to have a special quiz. What governors are missing from the hallway? How many governors and who they are? We know one, but besides, I'll give you one hint.
Any security concerns?
Look, what happened in Arizona is a terrible, terrible tragedy. And everyone, the president, I think, has been exactly right. It's something that everyone should take a moment and pause and reflect and wonder why and what has happened with the dialogue and just remember the victims and their families. I'm comfortable with the security that we have here in the Capitol and that I have personally.
Governor,
Okay? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thanks.